Today, I'm going to find out if I can change my convertible roof for just £75. Because the roof has a bunch of different issues. One, the sort of plastic panel is all scratched. It's also got a bit of a hole in it. It's kind of started to sort of delaminate here, which basically lets wind noise and stuff in. So basically, this roof is hosed. But getting a new roof is pretty expensive. I've had quotes to have a new roof installed, and that's like £900. So I wondered, could I not just replace the roof and the frame at the same time? And I think I can. So this is the replacement roof, and obviously it's second hand, so it's dirty and stuff, but the rear screen looks pretty decent, and it looks to be the same as the other one. Case of just cleaning up these bits, getting some glue on it, some Silverflex, and then we should be good. Because I actually think it's not going to be too bad a job. I mean, obviously, famous last words, cut to like me 17 hours later questioning my existence. Oh, this is going to be a right pain. I think the answer to this video is, can I change my roof for £75? Yes, but what will it cost me? This should all be reasonably easy to come off. We've got a bolts here, like a Torx bolt here, and a couple of, I think, 10mm by the looks of it, and that should come out. And also on the same side, and then we've got a bunch of screws that hold sort of the rear of it into the rear bulkhead or whatever it is, the boot area, and that should be it. And I think it should be pretty easy. One thing I have done is, if you notice these things, these are hard top mounting points. So just in case I manage to epically fail, I can then just go buy a hard top, which will be about sort of between 700 to 1500, depending on the condition. So worst case scenario, if I really cock this up, then I don't necessarily need to worry about not having a roof for winter. I can have a hard top installed. So these things are about sort of, the hard top mounts are about sort of 380, because they're quite rare these days, but these are the official OEM BMW ones, so they should fit reasonably well when I come to have a hard top. And I think a hard top would be kind of useful when I go on track days and stuff like that, you know. I don't know. Anyhow, so the mission is now try and replace this roof. Fingers crossed. I'm pre-configured with gaffer tape on this finger as well, so let's see how it goes. Now, looking online, the most challenging bit is actually getting access to these bolts, but luckily, because the interior is stripped and held on by gaffer tape, getting access should actually be okay. This is why you want to buy such quality vehicles like this one. Build quality. Sounds good. Yeah, because isn't that a good sound? Yeah, so I need to buy some more gaffer tape, because this is the last of my gaffer tape, so I think we'll get some new gaffer tape when this goes back on. And honestly, I'm thinking about just removing this entirely, because it all looks like crap anyway. So actually, I think that looks quite a lot cleaner. We get to work in some really convenient spaces. So we've got to remove this bit of carpet here, and hopefully that should get access to the bolts. I imagine with many things, it would be a lot easier without this absolutely mahoosive roll cage. Oh, yay. Right, so this black stuff, I imagine is, yeah, it's like I guess it's like kind of like a bitumen stuff. So what my plan was is to, and this bitumen stuff basically seals the roof to the rest of the car. So my plan was to remove all of this and then use maybe, like, I don't know, Silverflex, because I've got a bottle of that in the garage. But I've got to remove these, which I imagine look like 10 mils. And there's a bunch of them, but access looks pretty good. And then, yeah, just do the ones on the sides. So I'm trying to think. I might punch through this window. This feels very wrong. Well, I'm committed now. Oh damn. Alright, we're in this now, folks. I can kind of show you the problem with the screen, and it's even worse in the dark. Like all the lights, all the sort of the scratches, you just can't see. So yeah. I really hope this works. See, it's just so much easier without having a rear screen, because then I can just put you in. And then you're all there. See? Who needs a rear screen?
I mean, I don't see why we don't do this all the time. I could make like a BMW Z3 Speedster.
We are committed, folks. We're removing this roof. A bunch of 10mm bolts is all that's stopping us from getting this old roof out and putting our new second-hand roof in. Ta-da! So far it wasn't too bad. Now maybe the install is going to be harder, but apart from sort of detaching the the bitumen goo, that just took a while and a bit of pressure, it was all good. So fingers crossed the install is going to be even easier. And what I think is interesting, I think originally this roof was red in the same shade that mine was, or is, but it's been probably repainted or re-dyed, because yeah, it's strange that it'd be two colours. So that's my hunch, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a good sort of quality of life upgrade for the Z3, because this roof, rubbish, slightly less rubbish, but yeah, definitely needs a clean and a hoover and stuff. It might have a bit of headlining sag, so I might need to glue this bit back together, but hopefully rain tight, because this definitely wasn't, and it was noisy on the motorway and you couldn't see out the back at night. So I think generally a good idea to replace, but let's get to cleaning. Oh yeah, this stuff's coming up nicely. And a quick check between the mounts. So it looks like that. So yeah, they're slightly different, but not in a concerning way. This is definitely lighter than that one though, which is what I can't quite figure out. This is definitely solid compared to this one. This one definitely feels lighter, not by much, but by some. And it's got, I don't know what that is. This is for an automatic roof. Hopefully it should still fit, but that is something to worry about later. Oh God, the things we do to ourselves. Oh, this is going to be a right pain. I think the answer to this video is, can I change my roof for £75? Yes, but what will it cost me? As fabulous as this roll cage is, I'm definitely of the mind that I need to get it removed. And hopefully, as it's screwed in, oh, I'm definitely contorting myself in ways that my body is really going to thank me later. This is definitely easier without the rear screen. Yeah, if anyone wants to get me a late birthday present of one of those, I don't know, fancy Milwaukee electric ratchet things, I would be ever grateful. That's one lock. And that's how you do that. Is it mint? No. Is it watertight? Who knows? Even being as dirty as it is, that is so much clearer. I couldn't even really see the window, and that's with dirt, so it's going to be, I assume, a little bit scratched, but it's definitely going to be a lot better. The windows are up. The seals need a clean, much like the rest of it, and this is definitely feeling very, very, very hard, not very supple, so I think that definitely needs some love, but that should come up nicely after a good clean. That fold there. Tiny little gap with the window seal. Honestly, for £75, I'm really happy with this roof. It's not perfect, but it's not £900. So yeah, I think the plan for now is let all the kind of Silkiflex dry overnight, and then we take it for a wash and see how watertight it really is.
Wonder how much I wrote down, you never broke down. My back used to be up against walls, it's on the ropes now. Fighting for that feeling we had in your Laredo. Back when you saw the thorns on my crown, more like a halo. My conscience punished me for the past while I was out there trying to ball. Bet you seen through the mask, hope I ain't being brash. If I say you could've split it with me, girl, you would see riches with me if you stuck around through the rags. My motivation these days is different. I mostly beat on myself, I don't wanna spoil a couple things I prayed for and was gifted. Just peek the drive, see how I stayed in my lane when they shifted. I knew that time could not erase what my destiny's written. Right there next to these writtens, in my skin and my DNA like the one that
I
was
think
risen.
we can call this an unqualified success. I am so impressed with how this roof looks. It actually, I think, really kind of just adds to the car. That red roof just looked faded, it was leaking, and we've managed to replace it for just £75. And it wasn't even that hard of a job. It would have been useful to have maybe an extra person with some of the lifting and getting it positioned correctly. But other than that, it was super simple, you know, and I think that's one of the great things about really old cars is that they're not that complicated to work on. It's actually quite refreshing compared to modern cars because this is all just screwed in with bolts, not like plastic tabs and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's easier to work on. And having the rear screen being actually transparent so you can see out of it, oh my days, folks. This has actually really helped extend the life of this car, and particularly as we're going into winter. You know, this is, I think, a couple of days since I recorded the actual fitting, just because it's been raining solidly. And this car it's not bone dry, but it's certainly not soaking. And considering this is a roof from a scrapyard, it's not like I knew that it was going to be kind of watertight before I fitted it. So I'm really, really happy with it. One thing, obviously removing some of the rear panels and the plastic stuff, there's a lot of noise coming into the cabin. So I need to think about getting probably some soundproofing on sort of the rear deck, whatever that's called. But yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with it. And even though it's a sunny day, I've got the roof up because now I can see out the back. Hey, isn't that cool? But I am so impressed with this car. It is really starting to come together now. When we got it from Taylor, mechanically I think it was in a really good place, but it just needed a little bit extra on the interior just to kind of bring it along. And I'm just really, really happy with it. It's easy to work on, it's fun to drive. I do need to sort out the seating position at some point so I don't have to use my tactical cushion, but that is a small sacrifice to play with, or small sacrifice to pay for when you've got this much power on tap. Woohoo! Anyhow, I need to get this thing back home. If you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'm going to keep on driving this Z3, and I'll catch you down the road.